This is episode 1 of the NFC West Watch. If you guys need to subscribe, let's go right into the first episode of the NFC West Watch. This is the NFC West standings after 4 games of the NFL season. The two last teams in the division are the Arizona Cardinals and the LA Rams with the same record at 1-3. The 49ers are right behind the Seahawks at 2-2. The Seahawks stand on top of the NFC West for now at a 3-1 record. Let's talk about the 49ers first. The 49ers, 2 losses came from a very impressive Vikings, who have been looking very, very impressive to start off the year, and a very, very beat up LA Rams team. That Rams loss for the 49ers is going to hurt them in the long term because the 49ers are 0-2 in the NFC, and of course that NFC record, the divisional NFC record, counts for playoff seeding. So the 49ers need to really step it up in the NFC if they want a high place seed in the NFC. With the Cardinals coming up next week, that should be a victory for the San Francisco 49ers. I'll have more in depth of that game coming up later on this week, either Friday or Saturday. But the 49ers need to start picking up their NFC record. They have the Cardinals and Seahawks in back-to-back weeks. Those are 2 important games for the San Francisco 49ers. The Seattle Seahawks at 3-1. If we really take a deeper dive into this 3-1 record for the Seahawks, it's really not that impressive. The Seahawks played the Denver Broncos. They won by only 6 points. Of course, it was a blowout. The Broncos made it a little close at the end, so I'll give that one to the Seahawks. The Seahawks look good in this game. They were playing a guy who was making his first ever NFL start in Bo Nix, who threw for 138 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 picks. The Seahawks defense was on point. K9, who got injured later on in this game, he ran for 103 yards and a touchdown. Geno Smith threw for 171 and a touchdown and a pick. So the Seahawks was very impressive versus the Broncos team, who had a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix. And then after that, they played the New England Patriots, who the 49ers just beat by a lot. They beat them by 3 points in overtime. The Seahawks did not look good in that game. They let Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson run all over that defense. The Seahawks run defense is just horrible. And then they played the Miami Dolphins without Tua Tagovailoa, and then they absolutely destroyed them. They finally play a good NFC team in the Detroit Lions today, and they lost 42-29 last night. The Detroit Lions gave the Seattle Seahawks their first loss. So that 3-1 record is very, very inflated just because they played 3 teams who were very bad, and then they played the very first real comp NFC team, and they lost 42-29. Once again, could not stop the run. They let Jared Goff go for 18 for 18, 1 receiving touchdown, 2 passing touchdowns, threw for 292. That is just very embarrassing for Mike Macdonald, the new head coach over there in Seattle. He is a defensive mind. That is just not a good look for the Seattle Seahawks. So that 3-1 record is very inflated. When the Seahawks start playing real competition in the NFC, you will see that 3-1 record become a very, very bad NFC record. I do believe that 49ers will be number 1 in the NFC West after the 49ers and Seahawks game on Thursday Night Football on October 10th. So that will settle that debate right there. The Seahawks are really a comp team, which I do not think they are. I think they're actually the 3rd best team in the NFC West this year. That is just my opinion, and we'll see if it comes true at the end of the year. Let's get into the 2 bottom teams now. The Arizona Cardinals, who put up a very impressive Week 1 outing versus the Buffalo Bills, but came up short to Josh Allen and the Bills. Then Week 2, Kyler Murray bounced back, got his first win after his torn ACL injury. He came back and destroyed the LA Rams 41-10. Him and Marvin Harrison Jr. had a phenomenal game there. Then they played the Detroit Lions, where they lost 20-13. Lions are a good NFC West, or a good NFC team. Don't blame them for losing. They let David Montgomery run all over them in that game. Then they played the Commanders and Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels looking like the rookie of the year right now. Jaden Daniels absolutely cooked the Arizona Cardinals. It was Jaden Daniels, Brian Robinson Jr., and Jermaine McNichols. So the Arizona Cardinals 1-3 record, they could have easily been 2-2 at this point, but they are 1-3. They are a very, very talented team. They just unfortunately have a very tough record. They have the 49ers and Packers back-to-back weeks, and then the Chargers, Dolphins, Bears, and Jets. Those are very tough games. The easiest game on that schedule is the Dolphins, if they don't have Tua yet, and the Chicago Bears. So the Arizona Cardinals are still very, very behind in the NFC West race. It goes for the LA Rams. They are very banged up right now. They did get a sneaky win over the 49ers, But other than that win for the 49ers, they lost to the Chicago Bears in the trap game. I mean, that game, the Bears was very, very impressive. Caleb Williams was very, very impressive in that game. They get destroyed by the Arizona Cardinals and then lose a heartbreaker to the Detroit Lions in overtime because they could not stop the run game. So that is how the NFC West looks at the moment. I do think the 49ers, after week 6, will be number 1 in the NFC West. After week 6, I believe the NFC West projected standings are going to be, according to 49ers News 24 Deep Stat Dive, it will be 49ers at number 1 at a 4-2 record. The Seattle Seahawks in second place at a 4-2 record, but the 49ers will have a better NFC divisional record than the Seahawks. The Rams in third at 2-4, and then the Arizona Cardinals at 1-5. That is your NFC West Watch episode 1. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be trying to do this every week or every other week.